Homework can be hard. So here are 4 brain-based tips that might just help it go a little bit easier. Number 1, when are we doing our homework? Is it at the end of the day, when we're exhausted, when we spent all of our day trying to socialize, engage with, learn in our world, when we have decision fatigue? Is it a time when we're hungry? Is it a time when we're distracted? We want to do other things. If it's hard at the end of the day, maybe something for you that might be work is to just consider the time that we're doing our homework. Personally, I don't know about you, at the end of the day, I am exhausted. I don't want to do anything. But in the morning, I'm fresh and refreshed. So it doesn't work for every family, but for your family, maybe just waking up a couple minutes earlier and doing our homework in the morning, when not only your child is more refreshed and relaxed, but you are also refreshed and relaxed and can be in a more relaxed mood, enjoying a sip of coffee while helping them with their homework. Maybe that's a better fit for you guys. So number 1 is time. Number 2 is choices. Choices are important. Choices help us have control and security in our world. So maybe questions like, Johnny, do you want to do your homework on the table? Or do you want to do your homework on the floor? Do you want to do it for 12 minutes or for 15 minutes? Do you want to do it now or in 10 minutes? Do you want to start with spelling or you want to start with math? Choices are huge. They help a child feel as though they have more control and prediction in their world. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if Johnny does his homework on the table or on the floor. It just matters that it gets done. So choices can help. Which brings us into the third, which is prediction. Setting prediction. Johnny, please start your homework now, and we're going to do it until you're done with these 10 questions. You're going to continue to read until we are when the clock says 5:15. We're only going to do this until this point. You have to go through your spelling 5 times. Setting prediction helps the child understand when something will come to a close. Now, if we look at the trajectory of development that we go over on this page all the time, from reflexes to gross and fine motor, to auditory and verbal processing, to visual and cognitive processing, the concept of time is a very visual and cognitive understanding. Now, we're not at that primary seat in development until about 5 years old, and it helps to have visualization. So a really good way that you might think about this is if your child sees an ice cream store, their friends is going to go get ice cream, they really want ice cream. You say, hey, Mary, I want to get ice cream too. I understand you want ice cream. We're not going to get it today, though, because you're going to have ice cream on Sunday. They have a meltdown. They can't understand the concept of anything but right now. They don't understand what Sunday is. It's as though they're never going to have ice cream because that's the way that their brain processes. If it's not now, it's never. They don't really understand the concept of past and don't fully understand the concept of future. Nothing wrong with them. That's just how their brains are developed. It's just not there yet. So setting prediction can help. Now, if we have a child who's not at that fully visual and cognitive pathway yet, if their primary seat is movement and touch, if there's been some deflections in development, if their body is subluxated, which has caused them to be stuck at lower levels of development and just not there yet, well, this prediction time frame becomes increasingly more important because it helps them to understand that this too shall pass. There will be an end. Which leads us into part 4, right? We already have talked about time, we've talked about choices, and we've talked about prediction. And the 4th is supporting their tools. Again, primitive reflexes to gross and fine motor, to auditory and verbal, to visual and cognitive. If we have a child, let's say, for example, that their primary seat is in that movement and touch, which happens to a lot of children who have been diagnosed with ADHD, or they have difficulty sitting still, they have motor tics, because for whatever reason their brain development has deflected off of the appropriate pathway. Typically what we find a lot is that there's subluxation that can actually stop the brain from being able to properly make these connections. If we have a child where the demand of their homework, the demand of school is above what their body is neurologically able to take care of, well, let's go ahead and work with their tools. If they're stuck in movement touch, a good example would be, let's let them do their homework while they're sitting on a wobble seat. Because when they're moving, things are easier. Their brain is more calm. That input going to the brain is calming. Maybe, and not just a wobble seat, maybe we say, hey, every 10 minutes we're going to take a shakeout break. You can do all of these different things to really just help support them. We can decrease distractions, decrease sounds, decrease the demands that are higher than what developmental pathway their brain is at. By doing all of these things, It will really help their body, their brain, be able to better process and might just make homework time that much easier. If this concept, this brain development concept, is something that really piques your interest, comment workshop below, and we'll send you information when we go deep on this concept of brain development and the different things that you can do to ensure that your child is less deflected off the path and can live life at 100% of what their best is.